Hey everybody, welcome to Easy Tarot Lessons. This is Skwirl. I'm here with Sally and Mandy. Hi y'all.
Hello.
And we're continuing our card meaning series, and today we are doing the Five of Pentacles. Kind of a depressing looking card.
Happy and joy all over it now.
I know, right? How can we turn this into a frou-frou? So, Sally, what do you feel from this card?
This card for me, like you said, nothing very happy about it. I see people who are desperate. They're ostracized. They're in the snow with nothing on their feet. Behind them, there's this warm sort of church stained glass window thing. So I see inside all these people who are warm and happy and have wealth. And then there are these people on the outside that are just excluded from all of that. And even though they're walking in a pair, they still don't seem connected. They seem like they're absorbed in their own world and their own misery.
Yeah, they're not looking at each other even.
No, not at all. So here are people that they have nothing left. You look at them, and I see them as all they have are the clothes on their backs, uh, and just there's a sense of desperation and isolation with them.
Yeah. Yeah, what do you see, Mandy?
Obviously all of that, and I do see the snow. So, on a practical level, if that came up and I was looking for a timing, I would say winter time. Do you know what I mean?
Oh
That's all
yeah.
I get from it. But I do see a them and us sort of
Hmm.
mentality. um yeah, I mean, they could be, depending on the reading, always, they could be kind of like, oh, resentful, like, why have they got everything and not us? But poor me. Um, I mean, you could look at this card and feel sorry for them, or you could look at this card and think it's just their own kind of, victim mentality that this is highlighting.
Mm-hmm.
Or I could also sort of see it as like disabled people, like
Hmm.
literally people with disabilities. I mean, if it came up as a sort of like what kind of employment would be suitable for someone, I might say, oh, you might be suited to work with sort of people that are less fortunate than you.
Hmm.
I mean, it always depends on the question. Could there even be hope in this card that, although things are bad, life life can improve if you just need to find the way to get inside that building instead of being on the outside.
I've actually had this come up where I was doing a reading for a young lady who lived next door, and they were in a bad way. And when this came up, I asked her, there's a church right up the road. Have you gone to them to ask them for help with food? And she was like, I didn't even think about that. And she went to the church and they gave her family some food. She wasn't even a member of that church.
Hmm.
Right, that's amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So it really could portray some kind of hope going, because they could either be being rejected by that church, they either just left and they're like, God, what are we going to do now? Or they
yeah,
could be going to the entrance. We don't see whether they're coming or leaving. So it's
yeah,
going to be intuitive. They could be going to that church with hope. They could be leaving it without hope, or they could just be saying nobody's going to help us and passing us
Hmm.
by because of
Hmm.
that
yeah,
despondency.
Hmm.
yeah,
I like to believe, because I am a wee bit, optimistic. I like
yeah,
to believe they're going into the church
yeah.
and that they'll be fed and warm.
It is quite a sort of sad card, and if it was reversed, would you say that that's an improved version or maybe an even worse version?
Depends on the,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
I
definitely
mean,
both.
yeah, yeah. I mean, it could be kind of they've arrived at the church just to find it's closed or something.
Right. I'm sitting here looking at the guy. He has the bell around his neck. So to me, that just says he's been marked by society as somebody who doesn't belong. Stay
Hmm.
Oh,
away from this
yes.
person. It's like having the scarlet letter or something like that on you. Just you've been branded an outcast.
That's
But
really where I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
used to be many hundreds of years ago, maybe even not that long ago, that lepers would be marked by the bells
Yeah.
around their
Yeah.
Mhm.
neck.
Mhm.
And you see how she's kind of pulling away from him ahead of him. She may
Oh yeah.
be really pissed off that she's saddled with this leper following her around
Mhm.
because he's killing her chances of surviving
Right.
because
Right.
that, leprosy was greatly feared.
Yes.
Highly
And
contagious,
yeah,
reasonably so.
yeah, yeah, true. So it could be that the leopard, he keeps their chances, keeps them from being fed or taken care of. Everybody turns them away because he's got that affliction. It could, in a rare situation, be a card of absolute loyalty because she's still with him.
Hmm.
Yes, that's true.
And I
That.
had another twist on this one because
Yeah.
I look at the guy, and if you look at him, okay, look at his two legs, his 2 feet. It looks like he has a snowshoe on one foot, and then the foot that has the bandages, etc., is bearing the weight on the snow. So in some ways, and in sometimes, that looks to me like a scam. Like he's coming across as being so,
Uh,
down and out and disabled, but he's able to walk on that bad foot absolutely fine. Um, and so to me, there's a deception there, a deception about your physical ability to do something.
That could happen. That could.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
yeah.
She's got no shoes at all.
No, nothing. Yeah, she has nothing, and he looks like he has a snow boot that he's holding up.
They have snow boots back then. I guess they had
Apparently, they
to.
did.
Well, they had snow.
Right, right.
For the most part, this is a fairly depressing card. I do
I mean,
It
love
just feels
that.
like Christmas to me, though, because it looks like holly
Yes.
in the window, and I
Yeah.
see Christmas when I see this card too, which is really sad. Christmas and these people with nothing.
It's very Les Miserables.
Yes, it is. Well said.
I mean, honestly, I might even depending on the region, I might even turn that card over and say, "Oh, why don't you go and see a West End show?" I know that sounds bad, but that
No,
just might
that's
be
brilliant.
what kind of comes into my head,
That's brilliant. I
at
love
that
that.
moment.
I love that because it takes it. You don't want to stretch to take it out of the traditional sense, and that wasn't a stretch. I'm talking to the audience. Um, you don't want to force it to mean something unusual like that. But if that's the first thing that jumps out at you, if somebody's saying, "Oh, what kind of movie should I watch tonight?" Because it does happen,
Yeah.
doesn't it,
Yes,
Sally?
it does.
um, you wouldn't go, "Oh, don't go to a movie because it's gonna snow and you're gonna be left out in the cold." Tell them what kind of movie that could be.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
wow, you need to watch a drama. You know.
Or trading places. Ah.
I
And
mean, it
what's with the
always comes down to what the information that you're trying to find.
right, right,
All things considered, I would say generally speaking, it's an unhappy card rather than a happy
right.
one.
Yeah, that's my general sense too.
Big time.
Slightly changing the subject. When you get a card like this, say you were doing a yes or no, and I know we try to avoid doing yes or no,
Right.
and that came up upright.
I would say no.
Yeah.
If it were the only card, I'd be like, "Oh hell no!"
Right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, because I always read for content. I don't read just direction. I read content.
Right.
Right.
If you had an intention, like if it comes up upright, I'm going to go with yes, and if it comes up reverse, I'm going to go now, and that came up.
If that were my intention, yeah, then you're right.
Yeah, but it would be very hard to say yes to that card, wouldn't it? Even if you had intention, it would just be you'd say, well, that was my intention, so I have to go with it. But you would not. You would feel quite uncomfortable, I think, saying yes to that card.
Right, because
Correct.
if that were your intention while you were shuffling the cards, you've already made that compact.
Yeah.
This is what, this is how this reading is going to be.
Right.
That's the problem with making that straight up or reversal
Yes, I
compact
agree.
is a card like this comes up. It's always better to go with content of the card or
Yeah.
feeling of the card.
That's
Uh-huh.
what works best for me.
Yeah.
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 Just throw that in there.
So I'm looking at this card because I have it up on my screen, and it's kind of enlarged, and I can't get my eyes off of this guy's head because it looks like he has pink rocker hair. So I'm thinking like Billy Idol or something like that, just this pink rocker hair, which I assume, what is it, rags and blood maybe? I don't know, but looks like pink
Yeah.
rocker hair to me.
Yeah, that could very well be blood.
Hmm.
Mm.
Or he could be Billy Idol.
Yeah, right. Right.
It's a nice day for a white wedding.
Right? Right. Well, we have the snow, we have the church. So,
We have Billy Idol.
we have Billy Idol. Tarot tunes. That's my next song.
Yeah, she's going to be playing tarot tunes in her next group. And as you can see, it really does stay within the parameters. Most of the time, it's going to be a pretty sad card.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even in the reversal, if it comes to cross to you as an abundance of,
Oh,
run.
right.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Reversals can be an abundance, a lessening, or opposite of. And if you don't use reversals, you're missing
Yeah.
Half the deck.
half the
You're missing
deck.
half the deck.
Yeah. I mean, it could be just like, things are going to improve.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm. Hmm.
Absolutely.
Once the winter has gone, things will get better.
That is the gist of the Five of Coins. Feel free to climb into it. Well, don't stay there long because, wow, that's depressing.
Yeah, please don't.
Yeah.
But find out what's going on there. Get to know your cards, and so many things will occur to you. They
Yeah.
won't all pop up in a reading. Ugh, that would be horrible. But the right thing, the more you know your cards, the more tools you have. You guys got anything to add?
No, I think that was nicely said.
Alrighty then. We will see you next time with the Six of Coins. And thanks for being here. Thank you, you ladies.
And thank you. Have a great day.
Bye bye.
Bye.